This program is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Bad Priest. Episode 5. 8 long fucking years. I noticed something was wrong almost immediately. And I know what you're going to say when I tell you why I thought something was wrong. You're going to say something along the lines of, "But Father Cole Bannen, you don't believe in possession or exorcisms, but you believe in something as cliched as a, quote, look?" I don't know what to tell you, that's just the way it went down. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This story starts with me awakening with a horrible hangover. We're talking head throbbing, body so hot that I'm on the verge of spontaneous combustion, and a tongue that feels like I spent most of my night licking a porcupine's asshole kind of hangover.
Maybe we shouldn't do it today. This one, maybe it's not worth it.
Oh, Diego is here, and I'm tempted to agree with him. Last week, we landed a whale, a rich businessman from Albuquerque with ties to the church. His daughter was addicted to meth, and it was causing him grief and embarrassment on a professional level. Normally, Diego is responsible for the legwork, and spends his time scouring the message boards and forums, or even the classified ads for anybody looking for salvation. He's good at what he does. There's an art to spinning salvation into a high-drama exorcism, and Diego is nothing if not an artiste. But in this case, it was actually Father McCutcheon who reached out to Diego. This, in and of itself, is unusual. Father McCutcheon knows what I do. He doesn't approve of it, but who would? Unsanctioned exorcisms? Tisk, tisk, tisk. But we go back, way back, and I'm pretty sure that the whale donates money to McCutcheon's church. As a favor to the whale, the priest reached out to Diego, who, in turn, passed this information on to me. We helped the whale and his daughter, and after, if I dare say so myself, one of the greatest performances of my career, had our pockets filled with $7,500 apiece. Hence the celebratory hangover. Pass me my smokes. Diego, unlike myself, isn't much of a drinker.
Oh.
But based on the groan he makes before tossing me my cigarettes, he overdid it as well. I think about this as I smoke. This case is different from the whale. It wasn't an embarrassed father who had reached out, or a concerned friend. It was the girl herself. Where is she?
Just off Highway 85, near Wagon Trail Street.
It's about a 20-minute drive if the traffic is light. Which it might be, but I don't know for sure because I have no idea what time it is. If anyone else had called, I would have passed in a heartbeat. After a big haul, it wasn't as if we needed the cash. But the girl... She said her name was Amy, and she said that she thought she was possessed because she was seeing things. Demonic things. Things that scared her and that she couldn't explain. I licked my lips and then blindly searched for the glass of water on the table beside me. I find one and take a sip. It turns out to be bourbon and not water. Even better. Oh. I open my eyes and look around. My apartment is a mess. More of a mess than usual. There's an old pizza box on the floor and a bunch of empty beer cans. Diego's, because I only drink the hard shit, on the table. The glass that I had just drank from has a cigarette butt floating in it. But beggars can't be choosers. Nah, let's do it. Let's take the case. You hear that? That's the sound of instant regret. But I already made up my mind, and I'm nothing if not persistent. But god damn it if this doesn't feel like the worst decision I've made since doing acid before delivering communion.
I'm Diego, and this is Father Bannen.
The man standing in the doorway is about 6'3" and weighs a healthy 220. He isn't all muscle, but he's far from being a tub of mayonnaise. He's strong, and his thick, working man hands hang nearly to his knees.
We don't need a priest.
This is the part when I see the look. I'm not sure what happens, but the man's appearance seems to waver, like I'm suddenly seeing him through steam or heat waves. Your daughter thinks otherwise.
My daughter is sick in bed.
The man peers out through a crack in the door that is about a foot wide. I continually try to ease my way in, but he's blocking the path. Like an expert negotiator, I quickly spin his words against him. Yes, I am aware that she is ill. As for not needing a priest, well, everyone needs a priest at certain points in their lives. I noticed that Amy hasn't been to church for the past few weeks. This is a gamble, but it pays off. The man's eyes narrow as he looks at me suspiciously.
She'll be back when she's feeling better.
Right, but I made the trip all the way here. I was hoping to just... The sound startles everyone, especially the man in the doorway. He leans back, looking over his shoulder, and I seize the opportunity. Amy! I barge into the house. I don't deliberately smack the door into the girl's father. It just happens. And leaning back the way he is, it causes him to stagger. Ignoring the man, I peer up the staircase that looms before me. When I awoke this morning, my apartment was a mess. This place is absolutely vile. There are flies buzzing everywhere, and the smell is indescribably bad. As I move toward the staircase, my stomach lurches and I gag. The only thing that stops me from puking is the realization that if I do, Mr. Ape Hands is going to grab me and throw me out of his house. The strangeness of the call and the amount of pain in the labored cry drives me forward.
Father Bannen just wants to say a prayer for her.
I'm starting up the stairs, wishing that I hadn't celebrated so hard the night before. Behind me, I know that Diego is standing in the man's way, buying me time. But Diego isn't a large man. He's slippery, agile, and can get out of most sticky situations. But he wasn't Houdini. I slide my hand into my pocket. My usual props are in there, but so is a knife. It's just a Swiss Army knife, but it's better than nothing, and I grab it just in case. There's no guessing which door is Amy's. It's the one with the padlock on the outside. This is never a good sign. You don't need to be a priest or a crime scene investigator or anything other than just moderately intelligent to know that a lock on the outside of a bedroom door is not a good thing. Thankfully, the key is still in the lock, and aware that Diego is still arguing downstairs, I unlock the door quickly and push it open. And then I vomit. It's impossible not to. The bedroom smells like a porta potty outside a construction site after the taco truck ran out of yesterday's carnitas. That's my fancy way of saying it smells like shit. My eyes are watering and I gag again. In the corner of the room is a white bucket, and judging by the flies buzzing around it, I presume that's where the smell is coming from. Other than the bucket and a bed, the room is completely empty. And I use the term bed loosely. It's just a mattress, stained yellow with sweat, thrown haphazardly in the center of the room. A girl lays on the mattress. Unlike some of my exorcisms, she's not naked, but instead is wearing an oversized t-shirt that looks as yellow as the mattress. She is bound, however. Her wrists and ankles are fixed with heavy leather straps. Amy sees me enter, and her soft blue eyes stare directly at mine. This is another one of those looks. I know instantly that this girl is not possessed, and that she's in desperate need of my help. If this were a hero story, this would be the moment of redemption. But it's not. This story is mostly about a drunk priest who does fake exorcisms for cash because he got kicked out of the church. I digress. I also rush into the room and lean close to Amy. "I'm Father Bannen, and I'm going to get you out of here." The girl continues to stare at me with those doughy eyes, and her lower lip starts to tremble. I have no idea how she managed to reach out to Diego, but I'm clearly the only chance she's got.
Stay out of there.
Father Bannen is just...
There's a solid thump, and Diego goes quiet. Shit. I struggle with the straps, trying to undo them, but my fingers are fuzzy from the hangover. After just a few seconds, I give up and use the knife instead. As I start to saw at the girl's bindings, I hear heavy footsteps on the stairs. Come on, hurry the fuck up. There's a sweet sense of relief as I finally cut through one of the bindings. But this feeling is short-lived because the man is nearly at the top of the landing now.
Wait!
Once again, Diego to the rescue. Working at warp speed, I manage to free Amy from all her bindings and then whip around to see a man fill the doorway.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
He's enraged. His face is red and his cinder block hands are clenched. I look down at the tiny knife that I'm holding. It looks woefully inefficient, like a man with a micro penis approaching a porn star's cavernous vagina. The fuck you think you're doing? Not the most creative of retorts, and not an ideal time to parrot Amy's father. But I'm super hungover and have vomit dribbling down my chin. Behind me, I hear the girl rise to her feet.
That's not my daddy.
A chill runs up my spine. I no longer care what this Neanderthal does to me, but I'm gonna make damn sure that Amy is set free. The man smiles, and his face does that weird warbling thing. With shocking speed, he grabs my wrist, thankfully not the one attached to the hand holding the knife. His grip is insanely strong, and my wrist bones grind together.
Get out of my way.
I slash his forearm with the pathetically small blade, drawing a thin line of blood. As he releases me and pulls back, I notice something strange on his wrist. 3 scars, each about an inch long, running vertically, like red Roman numerals. Run! Amy, run! The girl sprints by me, and I back toward the door, holding the knife out in front of me. Amy's father leers at me, and then his tongue darts from between his lips. It's a serpentine tongue, long and forked. What in the fuck?
Let's go! Father Bannen, we need to go!
Diego's shout draws me out of my head, and I shake away the strange vision that I imagined. I leave the room and slam the door, and immediately lock it a split second before a massive bang makes the thin wood bow. Then I'm off and running, following both Diego and Amy outside into the hot sun. It's not my first choice to take the young girl, who looks to be about 12 years old, to a strip club. Trust me, I'm not that kind of priest. The problem is, Amy's mother works there. Denise's. Of course I'm familiar with the establishment, as I'm practically a regular, but I've never heard of Amy's mother, Mandy. It's also on the way to the police station. If Mandy isn't there, or if I get a bad vibe from the woman, I won't hesitate to hightail it out of there with Amy in tow. Other than telling me her mother's name and where she works, Amy hasn't said much at all. She just sits quietly in the back seat, staring at her hands. It's gonna be okay. For a man who performs fake exorcisms for a living, you'd be surprised at how much I hate lying. And this, for whatever reason, feels like a lie. Diego pulls into Denise's parking lot, and I rush the girl to the front door. Davy Scump is bouncing today, and when he sees me, his face twists into a pretzel.
Father? She can't come in.
Mandy, this is Mandy's kid. Recognition crosses Davy's face, and then he nods before ushering all 3 of us inside.
Head to the back. I'll go get Mandy.
I wrap my arms protectively around Amy, keeping her face close to my chest as I hurry to the back of the club. We're gonna get you fixed up, get you a hot meal, and... There's a commotion near the front of the club, and I see a police officer talking to the proprietor, Denise. I start to wave them over, then freeze. It's not just one cop, but 2. And the police officer pulling up the rear is none other than Mr. Ape Hands, Amy's father. I drop my arm, but it's too late. They've already spotted us. Shit. I told you this wasn't a hero story, but what I didn't tell you is that it doesn't have a happy ending. I lean over and whisper into Diego's ear. Get the fuck out of here, Diego. He looks at me, a confused expression on his face. You gotta get out of here. Just drive. You don't know me or Amy. Just go. I nudge my friend gently, and he finally catches on. Before he leaves, I have one more thing to say to him. I'll see you in 10 to 15. Keep my apartment, would ya? But of course, I don't. I don't get 10 to 15 years for breaking and entering, assault with a deadly weapon, and kidnapping a minor. I'm not really sure why. The glowing character reference from Father McCutcheon definitely helped. The rest was divine intervention. Ha! That was a joke. I didn't get 10 to 15. I got 8. 8 long fucking years just for trying to do the right thing. If there is a God, he just fucked me in the ass. And not only did he not buy me a drink first, he just happened to forget his bottle of celestial lube. This has been Bad Priest, Episode 5, a PTL Books and Pathological Inc. production. Written, produced, mixed, and narrated by Patrick Logan. Additional voice acting by Andrew Logan and Abby Logan. If you've enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe. You can also visit us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/badpriestpodcast.